Well, um, the subjective meaning of a piece of art, regardless of whether it's a game or a movie or a piece of literature, it's obviously something that you consider. But because in games it is participatory, meaning the player contributes a huge amount of their own kind of shaping of that message, we more often think, how do we raise these questions in such a way that they will be clear enough for people to start thinking about themselves? That is certainly my goal. The fiction, the script this time was written by me, and the sort of central goal of it was to generate a story that could only ever take place in a game, and that embraces the sort of blank white space that is the player in the overall composition. So if you were to make it a painting, there would be this big unknown shape that is the player, and I wanted to make sure that no matter what shape that might be, that you would still get something out of it. And that means being very disciplined about the kind of things that we're trying to achieve, because I'm not controlling the endings nearly as tightly as you would in maybe a different game, like Call of Duty, for example. And so, giving the controls to the player is always an act of trust. And so it's kind of been something that, while challenging, I think it's one of the most rewarding things about the project. Well, definitely the player's choice is affecting the outcome. I feel like we've done a better job with Bioshock 2 in that regard. Yeah, I mean, for example, originally there was a single big sister. These are these powerful former little sisters who have been armored up in Big Daddy diving suits, and who are now the most lethal of the new villain, Sophia Lamb, the most lethal enforcers of her will. And originally there was just one. And the idea of a traumatized former little sister who kind of was responsible for a lot of what was happening to Rapture had some appeal to me on a fictional front. But when you faced her to defeat her but not actually get to see her fall, not really get anything out of it, it sort of took the victory away from the player. And so I had to take that original idea and sort of refract it out into different dimensions. So now there are big sisters, plural, who you face, and they're still terrifying, and they will hunt you down anywhere you are. But you can defeat one, and when you do, you're like, okay, I got it. And you get some Adam from them, and there's a sense of conquest. Meanwhile, the story of that character has kind of moved into a new mysterious place, and I feel like the player will still get a lot out of it, but I had to be willing to compromise the original idea in order to make it better for the game. Bioshock is one of those titles where it feels kind of broad in that there are a lot of different tools, a lot of different AI types, a lot of different opportunities to make the environment work for you and sort of show how clever you can be by changing the world to fit your purposes. But we want to make sure that all of those choices have a sense of immediacy, that when you see the outcome, you understand alchemically what you can do with this and this, so that you end up with peanut butter and chocolate as opposed to peanut butter and tar. And then I guess finally the water has leaked in and has sort of begun to overgrow Rapture, and you get to see a lot of the effects of what Adam, that sort of strange genetic substance, has on the environment as you make your way towards the ending.